yesterday we reported on how the Hugo Award finalists are pretty much voted on by nobody. It's getting absolutely crazy. Now, I've done some stats and some other looks at things, and all of establishment publishing is really down. And there is a just move towards independent media away from this stuff. Worldcon is in huge trouble. I don't see them fixing it in recent and upcoming years. And I think that their attendance is going to dwindle to the point where this convention is really going to become completely irrelevant beyond anything else. We're going to get into this in just a moment. It gets even worse for the numbers than we thought yesterday. There's some analyses going on, and we're going to analyze all of this for you as well. Thank you for making this the most trusted name in science fiction and fantasy news, my friends. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Are you reading any of this stuff? Leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. And guys, please check out my series. This is a space opera series called The Arroz War. It starts with the stars entwined, a deadly game between stars in a universe where thoughts can betray you. Earth's best spy faces his most dangerous mission yet. If you like science fiction, you are going to love this, my friends. It is a 3-book trilogy that builds an epic war in space, in the future, of course, and you will have fun with this. We're trying to bring back the sense of wonder to science fiction again. It's in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio for your convenience. Whatever way you like to read, we like you reading. And thank you for being here. I am working on a sequel series to this, which is a space exploration-centric series, and my gosh, it's the best work of my life. I'm so excited. Get in here and start reading today. Thank you for supporting our channel. It's only $4.99 for a book. What do you got to lose, my friends? All right. So, yes, we counted this yesterday, and you might see this update over on this website here. They used to say there were 1,700 total votes across the categories, but in reality, there were only 1,300 total votes. Only 1,300 people determined all of this, claiming it's the best science fiction out there. Now, we went over the novelists yesterday, and clearly this is not the best science fiction out there, or even the most read science fiction out there. It is a niche of a niche, mostly controlled by mainstream publishing. But when you get into this, it does definitely get worse on this level. You get into best novel, as I said, only 1,000 ballots were cast on this front. And they started analyzing this over on Blue Sky, of course. Chemestros Felupton here was nominated for Best Fan Writer, which is ridiculous. Chemestros. If you look at this Best Related Work, these people were getting maybe 28 votes to 95 votes. So less than 100 people were calling this guy that. And here's his fan, 27 to 62 votes for him on this level. Jason Sanford's another pencil head who does very similar. That again, nobody reads those. They all read. Everybody in science fiction and fantasy who actually reads my Fandom Pulse Substack, which gets more views and more reads than any of these people combined. Actually, our YouTube video yesterday on this, because there's 1,300 votes total, right? How many did we get yesterday on this whole topic? We got views of 7.8 thousand views. So we got almost 8,000 views on it. It'll be 8,000 by the time this probably goes up. So 1,300 over 8,000. We have the people who voted in this are 16% of those who actually watched my coverage of it. That is crazy. Thank you guys for being here. I think that's hilarious. And obviously, we're doing more for science fiction and fantasy than anybody else out there. And that's exactly why you guys are tuning in. And I appreciate it. We're going to keep covering everything that's going on. So, yes, Nicholas White is the guy who's in charge of it this year. Him, as you can see. And he had an error crept in the media release. For some reason, I was not given the media release, even though I'm the biggest, most read blog in science fiction and fantasy. 1338 was it. They had a typo, thought it was 1738, because they thought there was a lot of people voting, but there weren't. And here it is. The overall total votes was higher because somebody said here, I want someone to compare the finalist vote ranges to the previous years. I did this for you, Neil Harrison. It's on a bunch of them feel low. I'm not sure why this year should be lower than usual. Naturally, nobody else is going to be covering it. I'm going to. And it keeps going lower because of a couple of things. One, the identity politics has turned off all normal people. It's all a bunch of old leftist weirdos who are left in this, and they're aging, and they're dying off of their can I say it on YouTube? There was a thing in 2020, and you were supposed to take a thing that you insert into your arm via a hypodermic needle. That's as much as we're going to say on YouTube. I think you're still not allowed to say it, but they did that. so they're not here anymore because it was safe and effective, right? And so Worldcon is becoming safer and effectiver with less people there. So there's less people who are going to be able to contract these things, right? By nature. And so that's exactly what's happening. They're not replacing anybody. They're not updating their programming. They're not bringing in like the Atheon Books crowd or whatnot, which I was covered earlier this morning about just like how they're blowing up with the lit RPG genre. They're not captivating new readers, and they're not bringing people to conventions, what it comes down to. And they're, they don't reach out to me. They actually declined me for programming at Seattle Worldcon. Again, more people watch my video on this than are going to be attending Seattle Worldcon, which is funny. And so ironic stuff right there. But this is how stupid they are and how short-sighted they are. And that's exactly what's gone on over the years. They have pushed this political crap over and over and over again, to the point where they have shut off their entire base. Now, it gets even worse for this year because they've riled up their own community. So not only have they turned off all conservatives and all moderates who would show up, and it's just all woke weirdos now. Now they're internally putting out missives saying it's dangerous to attend Seattle because of Donald Trump. Yeah, they are literally putting out that. Worldcon put out a message, like a big scrawling message. We covered it a couple weeks ago on how you got to be careful, et cetera, because they were all complaining that Worldcon had not put out a message. So instead of just having fun, making a convention about fun, really trying to lure readers, they told even the people who would come in for overseas that it's not safe here, especially for the LGBTQ community. So even the people that are left over now are not going to go to this. And so that's why there's a lower vote total than normal, and it's going to keep getting lower because they're going to keep hyperventilating and doing this in future years. Next year's in Los Angeles, so it's again in the United States. Ooh. And all these people are throwing fits, acting like it's unsafe to be here when it's not. It's stupid, but whatever. So Kim Astros, your best fan writer, guys. 26 people voted for this guy. Congrats. I think all overall votes was higher, but it looks like many categories are lower than usual. So the overall votes was not higher, and that's what we just came up with. It was actually lower. It was a typo. So all the categories are lower. Nobody's voting in this. There is no fan base for this any longer. It's dead. And the only fan base that exists are you guys who are here to mock this and laugh at this with me because it's a lot of fun to see the SJWs fail. And they are failing on every single level in culture. It's so great. So this person did some analysis with these graphs and all that. I guess we'll get into this. And you can see that this is how the whole thing works anyway. You've got the ratio of nominators to work nominated, and novel is pretty high. Fan cast is pretty high, so people, I guess, are watching the fan casts. You get into short stories, and it's like nobody voted for it. You get into related work, not so much there. And this is based on year 2017, 2019, and 2024. I guess there was no related work in 2017. And so you could see that I guess the proportions of people voting for things is a little higher in 2024, but there's a lot less people. And so, of course, that's why the ratios, I guess, voting for more things, which is interesting. And the nominate is, yes. So let's see. They also picked a wider spread of possible options and spreading their nominating points more thinly. So I guess there's less consensus among these people as well about what's going on. Kim Master says, I suspect voters are being happy and chill. This is pretty interesting. If people feel nervous about what's being nominated, they'll vote in more categories, meaning they're voting in less categories. If they're just picking their top faves from the year before, they'll vote in fewer categories and more diversely. So that is their thoughts on this, is that people are just happy and chill right now with the state of what's going on in science fiction. Not very many people, though, and that's exactly what's going on. I guess this is her new analysis now. And so it is in line, she says. So that was with the bad analysis there. Now it is completely in line here. If you look at it with the just percentage of people casting. So this is, she takes the total, takes the percentage of people who voted for best novel with the total, which is what most people care about. And as you can see, most people care about that. And as it goes down to short stories, it's less. And fan artists and the like, nobody knows who they are, so they don't vote. And that's what it comes down to. So the novel vote was on the high side this year, but your graph seems to show the opposite. was trying to work out why we would not have provided the lodestar tally in 2017. Then I remembered. And so this is it. They are flailing, trying to analyze their own stats, and nobody's doing this analysis on their end because they don't want to come up with the answer, which is politics killed their convention. It killed their convention because they turned off normal people. They haven't done anything to signal that they want normal people back. They haven't tried to get the modern readership out there that is out there. I mean, these people are selling tons of books on Amazon, and they get completely snubbed by this crowd of the Tor books and literary publishing establishment because of politics. Then on the other side, they're hyperventilating over their own politics and cutting off their own people from wanting to attend this convention too. So you have an audience of nobody. And that's exactly the problem mainstream science fiction has today. We are fixing it, my friends. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. What do you think about this analysis? Leave a comment down below. Please check out my Stars and Twine Space Opera. I'm going to put this in the description. I really appreciate you guys reading. You've been crushing it for me this last couple of months. And we had some huge sales yesterday. I also have a newsletter I'd love for you to sign up on, because what happens is there's algorithm things here, and you never know what's going to happen on that. And that way I can keep in touch with you and report the news on what's going on here. Thanks for being here. We'll be back soon.